It is time, everyone, for me to once again say welcome back to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. It's August, and we're taking a look at the North American West competition. It's the semifinals day and the grand finals day. So we have 1,500 players competing right now to be the top 100 that's going to move on to the grand finals. And they definitely want to move on to the grand finals because that's where the money is. And speaking of money, congratulations to Macon there, taking the Victory Royale in the end game. But Sundown, I want to talk a little bit about Jay Roses and his performance there. Walk me through Jay as a player.
I think the one thing Jay does particularly well is he's able to find options when it doesn't really seem like there are any. When you're able to kind of make plays out of very limited, whether it's resources or materials or utility, and turn it into more and continue your momentum rolling. If you can do that on a consistent basis, you're able to get more opportunities to make plays, get eliminations, and get points. And he just did that so well there.
Well, eliminations and points are very important to our top 20 players, of course, in fact, probably our top 100 players as well. So let's look at the top 20 right now, see how our players are stacked up against each other. And it is none other than Ladies Man himself in first place with Baka in second. And look at that, Turtle Tavern finally making a comeback. We haven't seen him in the top 20 yet, but now Epic Whale follows closely behind in fourth, and 40R Storm in fifth. Fallout, any other names that you want to talk about right now?
Yeah, a couple key ones that we see. Extra representing as well. They've been representing all weekend long is Sunny on screen. No, that's not Sunny, is in Sundown here casting with me. We got Extra Sunny performing very well. Assault, another big one. Acorn, we saw his performance more recently. Avery, great to see him showing up as well. But Tavern with some consistency this weekend. 2 top 3 finishes would be huge for his confidence going into the grand finals. I'd love to see him continue this consistency and closing this out in the next hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it looks like we're ready to jump into game already, chat, so don't you worry about any delays. It's time to get to it. Fallout, Sundown.
Thanks so much, Kelly. Fallout here, joined back alongside Sundown to continue the action of the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. It's been a lot of fun. Sundown, quick halftime check. We're a little past halfway through, but quick halfway through check. How you feeling? What do you think about the gameplay so far?
I think the gameplay has been great. The real key right now is going to be who's able to kind of button up in this back half. With just an hour and 10 minutes left in terms of your queue time, realistically, you have 3 full games. A full game of Fortnite start to finish, for those who don't know, is about 26 minutes plus whatever time happens after close. So generally about 26 and a half times, sometimes 27 minutes. So you end up adding that all together. You can barely squeeze in 3 really full games if you're going all the way to the end. So you're either doing that or trying to get a number of quick eliminations through and then trying to play out 2 full games. Now, you can see the drop spot fading out here. It looks like a number of players, the northwest or northeast portion is going to be the most packed as players head up towards Steamy Stacks. We've Built by Gamers Bucky in the top right and then Cody in the bottom right. But Bucky and Sizlucky, it looks like they're going to chest race here almost.
As it currently stands, looks like we'll have a fight off the rip. But as it currently stands, 156 is the threshold for 100th place to qualify is now. Bucky playing with a lot of aggression, but decides not to take it. Decides to say, hey, I left the chest back there. I'm going to go loot, find some shield. There's a chance he gets some shield. I don't want to be at a disadvantage in this fight. And he's also trying to find some more loot. There's the shield that he so badly needed. Oh, and by the way, a little bit of a gold weapon as well. Not the one he probably would have wanted, though.
Yeah, the early sniper is going to be tough. However, Bucky definitely had the better loot path, hitting 2 of the chests that were in this house right away, taking those away from Sizlucky, trying to limit his options. Sizlucky is not able to get off that full pot either. And Bucky is trying to close the space, will end up eating one of those coconuts beforehand, wanted to get to Sizlucky before he was able to confirm that big pot, but unfortunately, Siz is able to get that up and deny it away from Bucky. This should be more than free from Bucky. It will go over. Sis is going to have to queue back up by well done for the Built by Gamers player there to kind of secure that elimination. And that's really kind of a textbook example of how to win a 1v1 fight right off of the drop. He secured a weapon and forced his lucky off of the first chest. Then he immediately dropped back down to the house, secured the chest in the garage, and then pushed the opponent knowing that he had won the majority of the chest and he should have more of the loot. So really good job from him and kind of giving a quick little tutorial on how to play out some of those early game fights.
Well said and well played by Bucky as he gets a nice early game pick. Currently at 152 points. That's going to be big. Just keep in mind, as mentioned, 156 is the threshold in 100th place. Those are maybe just watching for the weekend. First off, welcome. It's been a lot of hype, a lot of action so far. We are in day number 2. This is the semifinal. So yesterday, top 750 players qualified, as you see a replay at the bottom left of our screen. Top 750 players from 2 heats qualified. We have 1,500 players total playing in a 3-hour semifinal qualifier. The top 100 will make it to our 6-game grand final. We got Balla, T-Dub, and Shayo that'll be casting that one. Myself, Fallout alongside Sundown with the pleasure of bringing you the action and calling the action in this one. And it's been hype so far from start to finish as we are now on board with Vex.
Yeah, and a little 4 elimination coming out there from Ladies Man in the replay feed. But right now, Vex, 26 points, so needs to get on the board. Uxif is going to do that for him there, but there's another player right on the other side. This is Plight, who's trying to be successful in his fight for taking the wall. He gets the cone, and Vex is going to be Vex going down there. Well done from Plight. No problem picking up that elimination, but yet another player closing in right away. I believe that was Little. Yes, it's Little trying to close in now and not let Plight really disengage with this one. With only 22 builds, this fight could be resolved quickly.
Yeah, could be resolved quickly, and Play can actually take the upper hand, and he's going to. He's going to get the first shot off. Can he get the last SMG shot? No! Oh, my goodness. Plate almost lost that one. He would have been devastated. He wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight after having his opponent down to 4 HP, but Plate is able to clutch it up when it matters the most. He's now going to have to make a pretty far rotation. Back on board of Flois, who, from Europe, is still dropping in authority every single round. I like what I'm seeing from Flois, as he's almost getting taken out by AI right now. This time it's not AI. It's a full-blown player. It's Nut playing on controller, close range fight, box fight with an AR. You know what? Nut's gonna try and play this with aggression.
Yeah, Nut trying to close the gap right away. He heard the henchman get the tags, heard the shield break right away, and Nut cleaned that up. But Animal trying to close the gap right away. And Nut needs to not flub his edits, flubbing a key edit there and switching the stair, then falling down as the crash pad went through. Now going to be able to disengage, but Animal has all but secured the entire vault loot of the authority to himself right now. And the question is, will he opt to try and chase this down and make it happen? You can see the henchman trying to return some shots on the Nut, giving Animal a little bit of an idea of where he could be, but Nut's in a really tough position. You can't super engage this fight. He's going to find a medkit to get himself back at least effective HP, but Animal's not really giving him the space to use that. Some more loot coming through to Nut from that elimination, but again, Animal on the hunt.
Yeah, and if I'm Nut right now, I have a jump pad. I'm considering getting back outside and using that. You found some loot. You were blessed with a shield and a med kit. Animal is playing so aggressive. He's not going to let him back out. Nut's still able to sneak away here, and in the end, it will be Nut who gets the elimination on Animal, saying, "Don't you dare push me. I'm on controller, and I got a great shot." Beautiful plays coming through from Nut. 133 points to his name.
I'm disappointed in Animal. There's no reason you need to push
like
inside. It's just so, like, taking that fight, he has the fight won. The moment he pushes inside that doorway, Nut can't leave that room. There is no other possible way to leave that room. You don't need to push in there. The wall is already mostly broken. Just break the wall. Just close the door, break the wall on the other side. Like, what is he going to do? Keep disengaging? The guy had like 4 builds left. He hasn't been farming. Like, there's no way. And that's what we talked about with Animal. He's so good when he's able to just kind of play that hyper-aggressive style and really keep going and know he's better than his opponent. But the second somebody's able to capitalize on his mistakes, or he gets impatient and overreaches a little bit too much, he can get capitalized on. And if that momentum gets rolling against him, he's the type of player where he can struggle after that fact.
Yeah, well, there's a perfect analysis. You do sound like a disappointed father, but it's rightfully so. As really, there's not a lot of reason the Animal should have lost that fight. Meanwhile, we're on board with Plur right now, currently has a med kit and a gray AR and a green tactical shotgun. So not the best loadout, but he does have a significant advantage right now in the form of about 40 HP over his opponent. Below him, as it currently stands, he wants this limb. He needs the loot. It's going to be saucy. And, oh, he's going to almost catch him. He did not take the shot, though, for some reason, as he almost caught him off guard as he was healing.
Yeah, I think he still had the stair there. It was just held in an edit form, so it was kind of just
that's why.
Being held out for a second. But saw him confirming that heal-up player, trying to close this gap here. he wants to hold the medkit in case he's not able to secure this elimination in the storm. However, is playing risky business instead. Just going to take a straight 50-50 in the siphon. Ends up being the difference. Saucy picking that up. TTV Saucy, let him know. Nice little elim there. Wins the 50-50, has the medkit, but in tough shape. I also saw one person say, how is this pre-recorded if we can type right now? No, this is not pre-recorded. Me and Fallout, we're here live. All the players are playing live. We're in the chat. We're on social media. So if you have any questions at any point in time, go ahead, hit us up at Fallout, at X Sundown in the Twitch chat. We'll see your questions in there. We're tuning along. We want you guys to feel like you're involved with the show, that we're listening to the comments in that regard. So we swap on board over here to Lana Rhodes. 40 points, 1 elimination right now, but a solid loadout and potentially getting the first shot here onto two-step.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you know, on that rotation, nice pickup from Sauce right there. It was the one missed shot with the tack shotgun that ended up costing the life of his opponent. Now on board of Lana Rhodes. Omega, as currently. Good loadout for him. Good late game loadout as well. Good heals. He should have this fight against two-step. We'll see. Shoulda, woulda, coulda for Lana Rhodes. I can't say that without smiling. As now Lana Rhodes is currently waiting, lurking a little bit, finally breaks into the box, gets a good first shot in, almost connects for the elim, and there you go, big headshot with that tack shotgun. One more shot will do the trick, and just like that, 2 elims picked up for Lana Rhodes.
Yeah, the Siphon being the difference maker there. Nice job confirming the elimination and going through. Have Epic Whale in a final 1v1 down there in the replay, trying to close out that victory royale. And I mean, Rockets on the high ground. What more of a classic Fortnite finish can you get? However, right now, need to be careful in terms of getting to the zone. You can see it will swap over to... No, it's still that one-tick zone. I apologize. We're not quite into the third. But needs to be careful. If any amount of assault rifle fire ends up coming in right now, it could be dangerous. However, nice little campfire over at the top. Make sure you end up stoking that. And also, don't stand in the campfire because, as in the wise words of Fry, fire hot. It will burn you in the game with a new update this season.
That is true. Listen, I just have to say thank you to chat for sympathizing with me for that one. Of course, production is going to stay on board with that POV just to torture me even further. So now, finally, we're going to switch away from Lana Rhodes to Shore. Much better. Shore, getting some good mats to his name. Blue across the board. A sea of blue in his inventory for loadout. A couple crash pads, tug splashes, half pots as well. I like the loadout for the late game. He's going to want to try and max and level up a little bit if he can in a fight, as currently rotating through. No one really nearby. One player in the vicinity, and he actually will have a chance to flank here. This is what happens when you play edge of the circle. One player behind him, guess who it is? Of course, one player in front of him, as Shore is now potentially going to be having a little bit of flankception going on. He's flanking one, but getting flanked by Lana Rhodes.
Which is what always happens on the edge of the zone. You don't want to end up kind of getting in that pincer moment. It can be so tough to really burn through your utility during this point in time. Wants to end up going over and picking up that chug splash, or is actually going to opt for a quick hunting rifle shot here. Not quite going to catch Flock, but needs to be careful again about kind of hanging around here in the open. Does have a player still behind him, Lana, the one we were able to kind of tune in with earlier. But Short rotating now down along the line, Flock over to the right. And generally right now during this circumstance, you're not going to find a ton of eliminations unless it is a pick occurring in that situation. You can see hunting rifle shot does come out, but AR shots are traded for it. So down now, just the 100 effective HP from Shore. Going to be forced to burn through some of those chug splashes as the pressure does come on right now. Continuing to burn through nearly all of them. 4 chug splashes going down, but still has some excess. And honestly, probably just wants to set up for a crash pad as the player will rotate past him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Gillick's in the chat saying, is this semis? Yes, this is the semifinals. And there you have it. Oh, gosh, I was going to say to the head. By Shore with a good headshot on the player in front of him. He's going to get an elimination, a little bit of a dance after the fact. And just like that, that person is eliminated from this game. Thank goodness, as we're going to stay on board with Shore now. And somehow is able to turn that around and get the nice pick. Beautiful headshot with the hunting rifle. And, of course, continue to play edge circle. These are the type of fights, these are the type of engagements you see when you decide to play edge of the circle. And, you know, a couple of one-on-ones here and there. Need to be a little less cautious of third parties. People are obviously in the vicinity. But if you can pick up a headshot like that, you don't have to worry about a third party. Very well played from Shore.
Yeah, good job there. Talking about kind of during this phase, you're only really going to see eliminations if you do see that hunting rifle kind of one shot, one elimination coming through, or a follow-up where the player is able to quickly close the gap. Because most of the time now, if a player's made it to this stage and they're rotating towards the zone, they're not necessarily going to be in shambles. They'll at least have enough utility to make it not necessarily worth your while. But sure, finding it there. Nice little edit set up here from Scissor to find Synax, who's also pinned. Currently down there, we have Arkham, who's trying desperately to catch up. We talked about just how much of a presence he could be sitting back there in the 400s, but a nice victory royale there to hopefully get him back on pace, because I can't imagine an NA West grand final without 100 Thieves Arkham. That just seems unbelievable.
Yeah, that would be absolutely insane. Commandment is in 98th place as it currently stands. The TSM's very own Commandment currently making it through on board of Scissor right now. You know, I'd love to see the likes of Arkham, of course, Epic Whale, Commandment, all these players that we're used to seeing. Symmetrical popped off with a dub earlier, but it's going to have to be a valiant effort from Arkham. An hour left of lobbies available, so hopefully we'll catch one or two of Arkham's games. I called him the GOAT to kick things off. If he does not qualify, it'll be the world's worst caster curse. The worst caster curse I've ever given someone is right now. Scissor's in a 1v1 against Synax. Playing with aggression here. Synax only has about 80 total HP to his name. Scissor has a great loadout in terms of heals. Should be able to take this win unless Synax can pull something off miraculous. And no, it's going to be a great pickup coming through from Scissor. Wise decision not to take that Slurpfish, as there are some mini shields to use instead. Great plays from Scissor.
Yeah, nice little min-max there. Is going to be just 12 shield off of the maximum, but that doesn't actually end up making a difference in terms of most elimination thresholds. So in a really, really, really good spot. As of right now, you can see Bucky working around the right-hand side. It's a Built by Gamers player. Somebody who's spent a lot of time with, who's been able to really kind of come into his own as of late. Somebody who's been kind of inconsistent, but it feels like he's been getting his momentum together in terms of consistent performances and runs. And honestly, I'd really like to see him continue that today. Currently sitting at 152 points, which is right around the top 100. 1 second, let me refresh my leaderboard and look. 174 is what the current number is at. So if he's able to secure some placement points in a couple of eliminations here, he's right in the conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This threshold's getting crazier and crazier. Separating 85th and 100th is a 4-point difference. We know the difference for that threshold will be significant. Tyler's great to see his name in 86th place. I believe he's still playing from Illinois, still playing on a little bit of ping. Shout out to Tyler's currently in 86th. A couple other names. We see Edgy. We see a few others within this top 100 that we're used to seeing. Of course, as it currently stands, Falconer in 37th, Arkham in 38th. I just saw on screen. I believe that is the same Arkham. Not exactly sure. Got to try and verify that.
Yeah, 38th, but 8 games played, so only have 2 more left. If he drops even a single game here, it's going to end up being just so absurdly hard. So talk about the pressure being on for him, as now we're on board here with YouTube Ververdi. Yeah, I apologize there. I got
YouTubes, kids.
I was like, wait, how do I pronounce that? Is that Ververdi? And then my mind just didn't catch up with me. So apologize there, but does have both of Jules' kit there, both the grapple gun and the drum gun, as well as a rare charge shotgun and an AR. So a lot of medium bullets to potentially go through, but also plenty of options.
As Juice, Nate, Salty Speed, Jay Rose is also in this lobby. And again, does Jay just he's like, listen, I want to give myself a handicap. I'm not going to play with shield. Just never going to have a shield ever in any of my 10 games. I'm still going to qualify because I'm Jay Rose. I'm a young god. All right, we get it. 40 HP total to his name. If he somehow gets out of this one while getting lasered right now, poor Jay Roses is the chosen one. If he survives this, he officially... Nope, he died. Okay, never mind. He's taken out. That's gonna be all she wrote for Jay Roses. I was about to call him a magician or something of the like, as he does finally get taken out. Yo Juice and Pure Rain nearby, and unfortunately for Jay Roses, he gets taken out.
It's tough when you end up in that decision. That was kind of what we had alluded to earlier, where you end up pinched between the players who are playing the ultimate edge of zone and those who have already rotated centrally, particularly once you get into these smaller circles. If you stop for a second on your rotation and somebody sees bullets pouring into you, hey, why not pour some more into you? And you're not going to get out of that situation. If still remaining in the game with reasonable amount of mats, but most of the time you just get sent back to lobby.
Yeah, and in the same way as if you ever are driving, you see someone with a spare tire on the road. Today, me, tomorrow, or today you, tomorrow me. You can easily be you in that situation. Have some sympathy. In Fortnite, obviously, sympathy is not going to be had as it's an elimination. You get 5 points for that pick. You get some siphon. Everyone's always going to try and take advantage of that person. But the analogy, the important thing to understand there is if you get lasered one game, someone else is going to get lasered the day after. You're going to be doing the lasering or the focusing the day after. So try to shake it off. Try not to get too caught up on it and try to just move on to the next game. It's something called a short-term memory. You got to forget the things that upset you and move on to the next game, especially in a 10-game series like this.
Yeah, especially if you feel like your game plan was right and it was just a wrong situation. Sometimes the zone doesn't pull where you need it to go, but you're always able to go back, kind of VOD review your mistakes and improve some more. So continue seeing Baby Noise trying to find some shots. We got Bucky hanging out in the top right-hand corner, and then everyone else in the wide on the left. You can see Asian Feeds in there as well. NorCal Gucci, Kabuto, Saucy still making it out of the storm from earlier. Edmond also over there, who we've seen on the receiving end of a number of games. So right now, second-tier Storm Surge in place with 6 players will need to go down once the storm has closed. And Baby Noise is one of those who's under pressure right now. He has 9 damage below the threshold.
Currently on board with Baby Noise. You mentioned VOD reviews earlier. Quick plug. Speaking of VOD reviews, big shout to my man Bella T Dub in the chat, the grandfather of VOD reviews in the Fortnite community. Monster D-Face as well. I got to give some love to my boy Javi, aka Monster D-Face, has been grinding on their VOD reviews. So make sure to check them out. A couple of them from DreamHack tournaments. The great content. We're lucky to have them. And of course, currently, now we're on board with Baby Noise. 54 players remaining in this one. This is going to be a stacker, folks. Storm Surge is active, and we see a couple big names left in this one. CJ is one of them.
Yeah, some good shots coming out from Baby Noise there. Trying to use the crash pad to get in. Is able to pop that player up. Not quite able to phase himself through the wall in time, though, which is unfortunate. They did both pull the zone, so if he can get this elimination and get it quickly, he'll have a priority edge and a key refresh. Uses the crash pad to go through, finds the player on the edge, and is able to confirm that. Well done from Baby Noise, executing the box push right there.
140 total HP as the advantage on Saucy. Saucy might be getting focused here momentarily, but Baby Noise says, hey, don't focus him. This is mine. As he's going to crash pad right into his box. One shot, and nice pickup right there as I'm actually commentating off the wrong feed. I take that back. Sorry, VLC. As I'm back on board on the right feed here, looking at 2 things at once. On board with Agers now.
Agers right now has that legendary charge shotgun as well as tons of floppers, so potentially looking for a late height take. That's probably the play is going to look again. A player who's right around the outside needs to have a good performance here to kind of push himself into that top 100 and keep himself on pace. Somebody who's very much so capable of doing so. You can see a great little position and an angle to be able to put some shots on players, and phenomenal tracking across 2 different boxes and edits, and making sure he closed the other side as well to manufacture an elimination for himself. 4 different tags on that player. Absurdly well done from Azures. If you're looking for a prime example of mid-game eliminations on rotating targets, pull up that clip.
Love to see it. We got people putting on an actual absolute clinic for us so far in the last couple games. Alithia player on screen that we see currently with the overall camera. Alithia was our winner from heat number 2 yesterday. Excited to see if Alithia can keep some consistency. Not sure where Alithia currently stands in terms of points. I'll try and get some intel there. Macon, a player that won our last lobby, and I know is currently sitting within the top 100, I believe, as it currently stands, or at least coming into this game. So we'll see if Macon can keep some consistency as well.
Yeah, right now we have big CJ, Bucky right over on the side there. Kono just above him. Anomal also right next to him. Devon Shore. All these players kind of stacked up towards the edges. Now we're into the full moving zone circles. And you can see there's actually only 2 players, those 2 yellow triangles in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, who are on the side of zone. So every single other player, all 44 of them, are going to have to rotate past. And every player who goes down will also be placement points, as now we're into the threshold. And you can see the entire lobby taking to the sky for the long rotation. Azures finds the first one on distinct hoist to get the elimination started. And CJ is going to about face and check out what's going on around him.
Currently on board with the big CJ, 2 limbs, 142 total builds, sitting very good in resources overall. And of course, you mentioned the Stinks. So with Stinks, could be able to try and get a pick on someone that is not in a good situation health-wise. Server catching up here. So thank you for your patience all, as now we're on board of CJ trying to take high ground. A little bit of a 1 versus 1. Gonna get tagged up from the back though. It's looking pretty bad for CJ. Gonna hit a good first shot. That's a beautiful flick. Coming through from CJ. He's gonna connect for an elimination. Well done from CJ. Taking out Bass Kitty, I believe is what we saw on the feed there. Big pickup from CJ.
Yeah, Backety going down, but now taking a look on the wide. You have Azurus up on the high ground. Nate trying to make a challenge up for Bucky and Macon also just on the table below. As CJ on your right-hand side continues his rotation, we will have Storm Surge on for 8 more players to go down. Bucky is able to find 1 elim as Scissor picks up another one. 35 players remaining. Alithy in your top right, Big CJ in your bottom right. CJ ends up going down there, taken out right away as soon as he's in the box. We're going to hop back on board with Alithy, who's doing his best kangaroo impression, hopping from box to box, getting in front of the zone. But a good job from him there, with the trade-off being that Scissor is now up on high ground with Newell as well.
That's exactly right. 27 other players in this lobby right now, so the number is dwindling, and it's going to dwindle even more here. Alithy with some good boxes, but has to use a lot of materials here, and because of that, only 14 builds make it 12 left for Alithy. Interesting loadout as well for Alithy, but a pop-off game is needed. 177 points. Puts him in a good spot to be within the top 100, but he'll be on the fringe unless he can win this game. So currently has high ground. He's want to hold high ground. He actually finds one. He wants to push this fight. Not sure if that's the most wise decision for Alithy. He is honestly has his head down and is tunnel visioned right now. As a result of that tunnel visioning, he's going to get tagged up quite a bit. Alithy now getting focused. It's looking a little bit scary for Alithy, and he's going to get taken out.
Now we hop on board with Newell, who has a pepper running, going to be a little extra spicy, a little fast feet here, but can he turn those fast feet into more points as now 19 players remain? And remember, every player going down is a placement point, and every point is valuable to push into this top 100 right now. Newell, 178, right above where that threshold is, around the top 100. Pushes forward, player edits out, but not going to find it. Bucky back in the top right-hand corner, currently sitting on 3 eliminations, also has a pepper running. So both of them spicy boys trying to get the rotations in and using that higher speed. Bucky does get a conversion. We have our top 10 now.
That's exactly right. Bucky will pop that pepper, last pepper for him, but it will be enough to last him to the end of this game, most likely, as we are into the top 10. 4 eliminations for Bucky. Picture-in-picture of Newell as well. Oh, Newell almost connected for a shot right there. If he had a charge shotgun, probably could have gotten that. As Newell looking for the pick, gonna get it. Nice. He needed the mats as well, but only 10 total mats for him. Bucky currently sitting mid to high ground. Bucky in a 1 versus 1 against Sky Douche needs to take this pretty quick. Not sure how much time he has for this box fight. They're both gonna try to rotate, but Sky Douche does have the advantage in terms of health. Slick, Newell, and a Odgers in the low ground.
Now back on board with Newell. Has the tack shotgun. No, only 1 more build to his name. Trying to save it for reaction. Ducking back out into the storm to try and find something. Using the high speed to pick up whatever materials from those eliminations again. Bucky takes down Owl. Bucky in the top right, Newell in the bottom right. However, Skadoosh takes down Newell right away, and Newell is going to win it from the low ground. 4 eliminations and a victory royale pushes him up to 213 points. And you see him right away, wasting no time, backs out and gets back in queue.
And there you have it. A big game from Newell. 4 elims and 213 points. Bucky popped off as well. The standings will be interesting. We'll have updates for you right after this.